Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, Ritu, ma'am. How
Good
are you?
evening. Good evening, Vinny. I am stunning and feeling quite happy to connect with you for the second time. So I am really over the moon.
Thank you so
How are
much.
you?
And I am doing fantastic, feeling energetic, and so happy to have you here. And of course, as this wedding season is going on, so busy attending weddings and putting on some weight, trying to balance it
Uh,
by shedding some calories
Lucky
as
time.
and when, right, we get time. So that is how the days are going on. And it's really good to see you here. First of all, I wholeheartedly welcome you to English with Winnie, to my channel. And so
Thank
happy
you
to
so
see this
much.
bright, vibrant smile and face of yours.
Same, same. I am also feeling the same by just looking at your shiny and reflecting face. So I think the feeling is mutual.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And before we proceed, let me quickly inform today's session is all about a general question. I would like to ask some questions from you, and from all walks of life. And I'm sure you'll be able to describe it and answer it really well. And questions are going to be really simple. So that's how the format is of today's session. And also, before we proceed with your introduction, I would like to take a moment to appreciate. There is one thing that I have noticed every time, and I was waiting to compliment because I love complimenting people. So I find you always well dressed. You present yourself really in an elegant manner. Even Kawaljeet ma'am, I told her this thing. So this is something that I have noticed. And I believe dressing up well, presenting yourself like this is an underrated soft skill. So, and I see that in you. So I want to compliment
Right.
you for that. I feel it's
Thank
amazing, especially when you maintain yourself so well. So
Thank you so much, Vinny. It's so kind of you. And I personally believe that presentation is not only underrated, but most people they don't even pay attention to this important concept of your personality. I personally believe when you are well dressed, your mood changes. For example, it used to happen with me a lot of time. I used to feel frustrated. And immediately when I change my dress or when I comb my hair and put a little bit makeup, I am not that kind of person who use a lot of makeup, but whenever I put a light makeup on myself, I personally feel that, oh wow, now my mood has automatically changed. So this is one thing I have learned over time. If you present yourself well, then you can rock. I mean, it's this trick is working for me. I'm not sure about others, but this trick is really working for me. So that is why I always keep myself, though it's a low key affair, but I try to maintain because my profession demands it. So, right from the morning, I need to make myself presentable, not for others, for me. That is for sure.
absolutely, absolutely. And even I have seen some people when they sit at home, right? They are well dressed. And I
Hmm.
always try to appreciate this thing because I am not that person. I am a pajama person. So whenever I find such people, I am like, oh wow, even at home, she or he, how well dressed they are. So it should be there, I think. Right.
Yes, it should be. Because self love comes first. And if
Yes.
you are loving yourself, if you are respecting your personality, then only you can expect the same from the whole universe. Otherwise, if you are gravitated towards negativity, then you will come across only toxic people. So, not to blame others. So, start working on yourself. This I always say in each and every of my videos. Instead of competing with others, instead of feeling jealous, just try to work on yourself. That is the best part to keep progressing in your
All right. Great answer. No? And as you talked about self-love, so these days we see this self-love everywhere. It's prevalent, right? I don't understand what exactly people mean with self-love. Sometimes people confuse self-love with being selfish, or they have different definitions, right? But here, what you mentioned That means even dressing up well, being well groomed, presenting yourself well is, I think, one of the best forms of self love.
Exactly. Because there is only one person you need to take care of, and that person is the one you see in the mirror. So I personally believe when you take care of yourself, you are all set to take care of your family. If you are upset, then definitely it is going to affect your family. Initially, you will end up doing nothing but screaming and frustrating. So that is not a good sign for a happy life. Instead of worrying about others, if you care for yourself, then it's a good sign. So let's take care of ourselves, then only we can take care of others. So that is a very simple formula.
Absolutely. Wow. Ma'am, even I would like to talk more about it. But as I promised and as I already announced that this session is about multiple questions. So let's start with other questions as well. But before that, I want to know some things about you. I want my audience to know some things about you. So please introduce
Right.
yourself.
Thank you, Vinny, so much for giving me this platinum opportunity. So I am Ritu Pathak, as the name being displayed on the screen. I hail from Agra. English is my first love. I was dreaming to become an English teacher when I was in my sixth standard because of an issue. Slowly and gradually, I started working on it. Now I'm an English aficionado. Moreover, I also run a channel by the name of Ritu Pathak's English classes. That I don't love to be a fake personality. I try my best to be as calm, poised, and real as far as possible. So I hate cheaters. I hate dishonesty. So this is my short, crispy, and simple introduction.
Okay. So I'm glad to hear everything about you. And now I would like to proceed with the first question of, not the first, it's second. We talked about the first one already before your introduction. The second question. I would like to discuss this with you. Uh, as you talked about, English is your first love, right? I would like to get a quick idea, ma'am. What was your background during your school time and college? Was it an English medium or Hindi medium?
Oh, my background, I mean, the school in which uh, I got admission to, it was English medium. It was ICSE board. But initially, my family background is completely Hindi medium. There was no one with whom I can converse in English. Apart from that, when I used to go to the Taj Mahal, because I live in Agra, so whenever I visit the Taj Mahal with my father, I used to look at the foreigners with curiosity that I also want to learn this language. I also want to speak like them. I loved their pronunciation, their accent. But being a child, I didn't know what maybe the first step to do so. And in my school, English was mandatory to speak, and it was my weak point. So always I come up with the excuse whenever I had to make a conversation. I always searched for my Hindi or Sanskrit teacher because I was a clever child. So with your Hindi teacher and Sanskrit teacher, you can have a conversation in Hindi, right? So that was my safe side. And an incident, a very, very stupid incident happened. Maybe that was the turning point of my life. I spoke one sentence wrong. Everybody, they made fun of me so brutally and so rudely that I came home crying. And I spent 2 days in, you can say, gloominess and boredom. My father asked me what was the reason. He laughed. He burst out into laughter. He said, "This, itni si baat hai," and he requested me to start reading. So, right off the bat, I started reading because all the books, that was the best part of my education, that all the books, apart from Hindi and Sanskrit, all the books were in English language. So, my father asked me to read but loudly. So, that you can say that unique strategy helped me a lot. So, when I used to read aloud, slowly and gradually, I don't know from where it popped up in my mind, I needed to be a teacher. I felt like that. I had all the qualities to be a teacher. My mother was a teacher, basically. So I used to look at her and I used to think like a child, okay, being a teacher is all about putting a lot of makeup and wearing those crispy sarees and those makeup and ornaments. It is not like that, to be very honest. Right? It bears a lot of responsibilities. So I started working on myself and I got my first job after my 12th standard. So that was remarkably an extra mile. I was very fond of buying clothes, but I didn't have so much outfits in those days. So actually, this started in a very funny and comic manner. Slowly and gradually, I realized that this was the only profession I was dreaming about, and so I'm in front of you. So this is how my journey started. Simple yet full of so many emotions. I cried, I shouted, I frustrated. Slowly and gradually, over time, I freed. So there were two important people in my life, my father, obviously, and second, my uncle. He was one of the renowned professors of Bareilly University. So
Hmm.
these two people, they helped me out to pave the way
Hmm.
uh, in this language. And here I am. Still, I commit a lot of mistakes, but I never worried about these mistakes. Whenever I commit a mistake, I admit it because I personally believe if you accept your mistakes, it's a good thing. It's a good sign. At least you can move on, you can work on that mistake. It is not a kind of language that you can blow the trumpet. Like this is a native language for all of us. We are Indians, so this is a foreign language. So I personally believe that if I know something, I can share because sharing shows your caring nature. And this is how we all can learn by helping one another. So this is my simple take on.
Here, I just wanted to tell why I asked about your medium. Was it Hindi or English? The reason is, ma'am, of course, I appreciate uh, people who speak fluent English or who are sincere learners, dedicated learners. But there is a soft corner in my heart for people who are in their 60s, 70s, 80s, even 50s, 40s, in 50s, and who speak good English. Why? Because I always keep thinking I'm awestruck, to be honest. Whenever I look at them and I feel like how they might have learned, what practices they might have followed, because now it's very easy. It's a piece of cake, not a piece of cake, but still we have multiple methods, ways of learning. But at that time, we hardly, it was just a dictionary and I don't know what else, how they learned. So I have this special soft corner for all of them. I'll give you one quick example. Just a day back, I was watching one interview of Captain Sumit's father. Captain Sumit is the Air India crash. His father's interview was going on, and I suppose he might be in his late 80s. And the entire interview was in English. He is approximately close to 90, his father. The way he was speaking, how fluently he was speaking, I was awestruck. I was listening to his words, but I was paying attention on his English as well. And then I keep thinking how these people might have learned, because at that time, English medium schools were rare, right? So every time I look at them, I have this question. And I really, really appreciate, even whenever I speak to Kawaljeet ma'am, I appreciate her dedication. The way dedicatedly, how dedicatedly she learns. And last time when I met you, I was awestruck, like how well you are grooming yourself, how nicely you are speaking. So, how do you motivate yourself to work like this, learn, and just polish yourself with each passing day? And there is one more question. Before you answer this, I would like to discuss about that. This is the second question. So the question is, Ritu ma'am, are you aware of this term that we call as midlife crisis?
Mm, it happened. I mean, this is something which we can't avoid, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So,
But over time, I have started comparing with those who are not, I can't say downtrodden, but who didn't have that kind of opportunities.
hmm,
So I feel myself to be the blessed one. Like I'm talking to you, this is a blessing in disguise.
hmm,
This is how I struggled a lot with myself. I always say, and just now I also mentioned the same thing. If you want to struggle, struggle with yourself. If you want to compete, compete with yourself. If you want to make yourself the best, then be a better version of yourself. Listen to others. completely. Because a good observer is the best learner. From where you will get that kind of knowledge. And in those days, there were libraries. So I used to go to the library on the regular basis. And definitely, I used to issue a book of my choice. This is something I want to interrupt before I continue with my conversation, that always choose the book of your choice. That is why people are not into reading nowadays. First of all, they waste a lot of time on social media for sure. Second important thing, they choose the wrong book. After reading two, 3 pages, if you feel like it is not for you, just don't throw it away, but just keep it on the shelf and try to read only those books which definitely attracts you towards itself. So this is, I mean, don't compete with others because somebody have bought that book. I need to just buy that book. It is not like that. Just go according to your choices. Life is very short to nag about. This is one thing. You asked me about the motivation. This statement is the motivation. And every day, whenever I feel down or whenever I feel burnt out, I always remind myself of this fact that life is ephemeral. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is, you can say, under control.